welcome to Growth Hackers, the program where we talk about how you can use digital to grow your business. I'm Godfrey and today we're going to be talking a bit about video. In past programs we've talked quite a lot about video almost incidentally, but it really is the core of the communication strategy for most small businesses, as well as for individuals who are trying to grow their own personal brand. A couple of weeks ago, we had on the show somebody whose brother turns out to be Kobus Potgieter, who is probably the world's best known drummer. And he's best known simply because he's on the internet. He's an interesting guy. I mean, he's a South African who is now living in Los Angeles and making a huge amount of money, making television shows and touring all over the place, even though he only started drumming 7 years ago. How did he achieve that? He achieved that by becoming a YouTube superstar. He used YouTube as a means to express himself and to share his passion with other people, and he used YouTube to teach other people how to drum. So literally, as he was learning how to drum, he was passing those lessons on to other people, and literally within months he had millions of people following him on YouTube. Now that's not necessarily easy to do. It takes a lot to achieve that sort of thing on YouTube, just as it does in life. But if you have the passion and you have the personality and you put the energy in, you can certainly get out there and communicate with lots and lots of people in a way which was never possible before. YouTube opens up the world to you. And if you have the will to do it and the structure to do it, you can grow your personal brand to the point where you start making lots of money out of the advertising slots that YouTube then puts in front of your videos. Now, that's of course not the only way to use YouTube. A lot of us think of YouTube as being a place where we go to watch music videos or to pick up on the latest personalities talking about what it is that they're doing. But YouTube is a platform that is provided free of charge by Google to anybody that wants to use it for any purpose at all. Most small businesses don't use YouTube nearly well enough, and in fact many large businesses don't use it particularly well either. It provides a facility for you to upload videos of virtually any length and any quality into the cloud and then make them available to everybody on the internet. That's a couple of billion people potentially who can actually see your work. Now, of course, if you're a local business, that doesn't really matter to you. You really want to be able to be seen by the people in your neighborhood, the people who might become customers. But that's still one of the most important places where you can have a representation. So very much today, video has become one of the foundations of social media. It's become a foundation of social media because it allows you to communicate in a way that is impossible with text. You cannot communicate the passion that you have in text. You cannot communicate your sense of humor or your personality. You cannot communicate your expertise or what an authority you are in your subject. You cannot do how-tos or provide examples of your work or inspire people in text unless you're a really brilliant writer. And if you're a really brilliant writer, you're probably already making tons of money out of selling books. But video allows you to communicate in a way which was never possible before. It's a fundamental skill. You know, in schools we teach people reading and writing and arithmetic, as they say, but video is the communication medium of the future. It's already replacing text. And in my view, text is actually an endangered species because nobody wants to read if they can watch a video. And you'll find that if you are searching on Google for something, how to fix a broken toilet or how to ice a cake or how to change a tire, you're not going to pick the one item that doesn't have video in it. You'll always go to the video. We're lazy. We're bombarded with information. In fact, the amount of information available to us in the world has grown at an exponential rate, and we're looking for shortcuts to find the easiest way to cut through that. There's more information created in 2 days today than was created from the dawn of civilization until 2003. That's how fast we're generating information. And much of that information is in the form of video. So if you're a marketer, if you're a business person, if you're an ambitious personality, if you're somebody who has a passion and a particular interest in life, and you want to communicate that either to friends, to family, to potential customers, or to the world, you have to start developing the skill to operate in front of a video camera. It's a given. You simply have to do it. And most people will go, well, I don't really know where to start, But the reality is most people are already videographers. Every single cell phone that you have today has got a very competent video camera built into it. Every 5-year-old knows how to shoot video. And most people know how to do at least the most basic editing on video. That's a skill set that wasn't around 5 years ago or 6 years ago, but it's become one of the norms in our society. So think about this. If you're a small business, say you are running a restaurant or you are running a garage that fixes people's cars, and you want to market yourself to your local potential customers. You can do that by taking out an ad in the newspaper. You can do that by sticking flyers under the windscreen wipers of cars in your neighborhood. It costs a lot of money to print paper. You can do that by building a website at some cost, or a free website that makes you look like an amateur. Or you can go onto YouTube. And what YouTube allows you to do is it allows you to be real and authentic in the way you communicate. It allows people to see you not as a business or as a brand, but as a human being. It allows people to understand that this is somebody that I can relate to, that I trust, that I can get along with, and it allows you to demonstrate yourself at work. So if you're a baker, you can show people what it looks like while you're icing a cake. You can show people happy customers who are picking up that cake. You can show people a lot about your product that is not possible to convey in text or in a still image. So get used to it. It's going to be your future. YouTube, how do you do it? Okay, there's a couple of factors that you need to take into account. First of all, let's look at the big picture. If you have a Gmail account, you already have a YouTube channel, your very own YouTube channel. If you go onto YouTube while you're logged into Gmail, you'll see in the menu on the top right-hand corner, you click on that, there's a drop-down that comes down and it says My Channel. When you click on that, it goes into what will be an empty channel if you haven't populated it with content. But that channel is yours to do with as you will. You can name it, you can upload images to it, you can give it all sorts of characteristics that are your own. Most importantly, within it, you can create what are called playlists. Now, a playlist allows you to organize your video content into lots of different columns, as it were. So just as when you're watching television through whoever it is you're subscribing to for your TV stations, you might have hundreds of different TV stations in there. Within your YouTube channel, you can have dozens of different playlists in your YouTube channel. So if we go back to the example of a baker, you could have a playlist which is all about great cakes of the world. You could have a playlist which is all about wedding cakes. You could have a playlist about children's parties. You could have a playlist about how you go about icing a cake. You can go have a playlist of my favorite recipes. You can break it up into all sorts of different things which tell people a great deal about you in a way which is entertaining and compelling and convincing. And you can do this with any business. Some businesses are obviously more visual than others. So it might be a little bit harder for a tax consultant to do this, but you can still, as a tax consultant, you can still share 1 or 2 minute clips of you talking about the tax laws and what it means to you and the things that you need to be aware of. And that conveys you as a business, you as a personality, and you as an authority in your field. And that's really what we're trying to achieve in social media, is we all talk about influencers and using influencers to get people to like us, to try us, to respect us. But really what you want to do is you want to be the influencer. You want to be the key influencer. You want to be the person that people think of when they're looking at whatever market it is and saying, I need to go to the person that knows what they're doing and that everybody likes and respects. You do that through video. It's not hard to do. It takes practice. You know, the first time you talk into a camera, it feels a little bit awkward, particularly if there are lots of people around. But over a while, it'll get less and less awkward and more personal. And you'll find that it becomes something which is almost a passion to do. So one of the things you might do before you do that is you could go and take a look at what people are doing on YouTube. You can take a look at people within your industry by just going into YouTube and searching. You could take a look at some of the celebrities. A couple of them that you might want to look at. There's somebody called Michelle Chang. I don't know if you've come across Michelle Chang, but she is a young woman in the United States who's got a passion for cosmetics. And she has become a multimillionaire in her 20s from showing people different techniques and different ways of achieving certain looks. And because she attracts an audience, Then the manufacturers of the cosmetics want her to talk about their products. And the next thing is she's actually doing incredibly well and not working particularly hard either, but doing it really professionally. And she's gone, if you go back over her history, from being a handheld phone camera and a fairly awkward looking person to a very, very sophisticated production, because she's got a crew that actually works for her and helps her to achieve all of this kind of stuff. So that's in the field of cosmetics. There are people in the field of computer gaming. A guy called PewDiePie in computer gaming. He takes in about $8.5, $9 million a year from advertising and sponsorship on his YouTube channel. Why? Because he has millions of people that watch every video that he makes. And therefore, that's a particular audience that people are trying to get to. There's a lot of advertising around that. But it doesn't have to be those types of things. You will find that there are stars in every single field. There are stars in the area of plumbing and bricklaying. There are stars in the area of financial advice and econometrics. There are stars in the area of programming and art and interior decorating and cooking. Those fields are populated by the people who are most passionate about them. So think about that as an opportunity for your own business. If you're running a restaurant, you should be talking about, how do I go about videoing the experience that customers have in my restaurant? Not my food. People don't go there for the food, they go there for the experience. So make sure that when you're doing videos, you shoot a lot of people rather than a lot of product, because it's the people that convince other people that you're worthwhile spending some time and some money with. So that's at a very, very broad level. Once you've created your YouTube channel and you've decided what your playlists are going to be, you have an option of either creating content or curating content or doing both. Creation is all about shooting video and editing it and uploading it. Curation is all about finding good videos that your audience might want to watch and pulling them in to your channel. You probably need to do a little bit of both. So for example, if you are a marketing consultant, you would probably have videos of your clients' products. You might have videos of yourself talking about marketing. But you would probably also want to have a playlist which is great advertising videos of the past year. And you might want to have other videos in there of how-tos, how to put together planning, how to do various other things. Everybody has a field where they do a lot of complicated things. We tend to take it for granted. We tend to think of our expertise as being just something which is, it's in our muscle memory. We just do it without even thinking. But what you do has value to other people. Even if they're not going to try and emulate you, they're going to see that you can do this stuff. You understand the stuff. You're a master at your own craft. And that's really a very, very important thing to be able to convey. So think about your strategy for your YouTube channel. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve with a YouTube channel? Why would people want to come to your channel? Why would they want to consume the content that you've got on there? And why would they perhaps want to share that with their friends? How would you attract followers? And what would you do with them once you've got them? And what would you do with them is really important, because there is no point in doing YouTube unless there is a commercial end product for you. And the end product for most people is, I want you to pick up the phone and call me. Or I want you to go to my website and buy my product. Or I want you to tell your friends that this is the greatest person around in the field of animal veterinary science. Whatever it is you happen to be doing, you want to be able to convey that to people. The thing that you want to think about is, what is the action that I want people to take as a result of watching my videos? What is that call to action? Phone me, go to my website and sign up for my newsletter, make an appointment to see me, tell your friends about me, download a coupon and use it next time you come into my business. Whatever that call to action is, make sure that it's embedded in every video that you put out. And you can do that relatively easily. Okay. When you upload a YouTube video, say you've shot the video, and we'll talk a little bit more about what you might want to shoot just now, but say you shot a video and you've got this really cool, say 3.5-minute video of you icing your cake. And what you really want people to do is go, wow, this person knows how to ice cakes. These look fantastic. I would love to have that at my next child's birthday party. The call to action there would be, phone me and make a booking. Phone me and order a cake. Or go to my website and look at other examples of the work that I've done, and then leave your name and a birth date, and I'll get back to you. Whatever you've decided that call to action is, make sure it's in the video, because people will do what you ask them to do, but they won't do what you haven't asked them to do. So use your video as an opportunity to sell. Okay? There are two ways of doing that in a YouTube video. Once you upload your YouTube video, there is a thing called a creative studio. It's another button that you have inside YouTube. And that is an online, in the cloud, editing service that lets you do things to your video once you've uploaded it. In this particular case, there are two things you can do. You can use a tool called annotations, and an annotation allows you to put text on top of your video at certain parts of the video. So you can say, from 2.5 minutes into the end of the video, I want to put my telephone number and an appeal, call me, and we'll create a great cake for you for your next event. And that annotation will then just play in wherever you decide to put it on the video, whether it's the top, on the side, or even in the middle. It'll play in from the appropriate time every time somebody watches your video. It looks sophisticated, but it's really easy to do. The danger with things like that is if you overdo it, you start to look amateurish and messy. But if you do it in a way which is refined and very, very sensible, you'll find a way of doing it. There is another way of creating a call to action, and that is a thing that YouTube calls cards. So a card is it's an advertisement or a banner that slides out from the side of the video whenever people hover over an information button which appears at certain times throughout the video. So if in the middle of the video you've got a section which says, we can do the most amazing wedding cakes, you can set that information button to pop up on the top right-hand corner. If people hover over it, it'll slide out a little banner which says, greatest wedding cakes in town, a photograph or a logo, whatever you choose to put in there, a text, and a call to action, and a clickable button. And it will automatically be built into your video at that point in time. That's a powerful way of turning your video from being something which is passive entertainment into something which is really active sales. And it is so simple, even an adult can do it. You'll find that it's just a matter of clicking buttons and entering text. And YouTube does that all for you without any difficulty whatsoever. Inside that same suite of tools, there are a couple of other things which you might find useful. One of them is music. Now, a silent video with just voiceover doesn't sound that great, so background music can help enormously in creating atmosphere and creating a mood as you go forward. The difficulty that we have as private individuals is that you cannot use your your CD collection or music that you've downloaded from whoever your favorite provider of music is, because all of that is copyright protected. And the moment you start using copyright protected music in your videos, YouTube will shut you down. The first thing they will do is they'll let the video go, but they'll cut the entire soundtrack out. And if you're a repeat offender, they'll just close your account. So you don't want to do that. You want to use music which is freely available for reuse. And one of the best places to get that music is YouTube itself. So within that edit suite of YouTube, there is an audio section, and within the audio section, there are hundreds of thousands of tracks of music that you can apply to your video literally at the click of a button. And they're ranked in terms of popularity, and they are segmented in terms of style, everything from classic to hip-hop to country. And you can just flip through those as much as you like until you find something which is appropriate to what you're doing. Click a button and it's automatically attached to your video and will play every time your video plays, free of charge. So think about what you're managing to achieve here with a tool that doesn't cost you any money. You're able to upload your own videos and serve them everywhere in the world. You've become a broadcaster. You're able to edit your videos so as to put in calls to action and prompts to people, as well as additional information. It doesn't have to be a call to action that you put in there. And you're able to put in a soundtrack which makes it come alive. And once you've done that, you can choose whether to share that video publicly or to keep it private. Why would you keep it private? Well, one of the reasons you might want to keep a video on YouTube private is that it's a new product that has not yet been launched, but you want to share it with your business partners or you want to share it with your sales force. Another one might be that it was a wedding you know, and you don't want the rest of the world to see your wedding photographs, but you want all the guests to be able to see the wedding videos. And YouTube, again, makes that really easy. When you upload the video, you choose whether this is public, whether it's private, or whether it's unlisted. Unlisted basically means that it's there and you can share the link with anybody, and if they click the link, they'll see the video. But nobody will ever be able to find it through a search. It gets excluded from search. And that's the easiest way in the world to share videos with people until you're happy with them, and then you can let them go public. So once you've done that, you obviously want to know, is anybody looking at this? Am I having an impact? What is going on? And because you have a YouTube channel, YouTube provides you with analytics on your videos. And the analytics that you get on YouTube are very similar to the analytics that you would get on a website. It tells you how many visitors you had to your channel, how many videos were watched, which videos were watched, who has subscribed to your channel by clicking the subscribe button, who has shared your video, or how many people have shared your video on social media, and so on. So you get a reasonable amount of information which tells you what's working and what's not working. But you also get a really interesting feature which tells you how many people were watching your videos second by second through the video. So you can see that 100% of people started the video, and after 30 seconds that just plummeted to 10%. And then you know that you've got a problem with your video. You know that perhaps you need to go back and re-edit it, you need to change it a little bit because you've suddenly lost people's attention and they've all abandoned you. In terms of timing though, because we're looking for shortcuts most of the time, we're really looking for short videos as well. So if you're showing somebody how to ice a cake or to fix an alternator, you don't want that to be a 2.5-hour video, because you will lose people after the first couple of minutes, probably after the first couple of seconds. So think about this. There are two lengths of video that really, really work. Anything less than 15 seconds gets pretty much 100% viewing. People are quite happy to sit through 15 seconds of a video and watch the entire thing, and learn to be brief and punchy in what you do. And then anything over about 10 minutes, people will watch the entire thing, because typically those videos are either instructional or educational, but they're providing some kind of deep value as opposed to pure entertainment. So think about that. You know, some things might take longer than others to explain. But don't overkill on your videos. Don't be building 5, 6, 7 minute videos just because you can, because you will lose most of the people, and your statistics will actually tell you how that works. So a couple of other things if you're going to be shooting your own video, and this is probably the wrong place to be telling you this, but I'm going to tell you this anyway. Use a smartphone. If you don't have a digital SLR camera that can take video, use a smartphone. Anchor it firmly with a gorilla pod or a tripod, or even just a beanbag so that it doesn't move, and you will shoot amazingly good video, perfectly good enough for a YouTube channel, until such time as you're making millions and you can afford your own cameraman. But remember that the one thing which is the downfall of most homemade videos is sound. Okay? Audio is absolutely critical. The one thing that your phones can't do, even though they do fantastic video, they do absolutely terrible sound. Okay? They don't pick up the sound very well. So invest in an external microphone. You can invest in a linear microphone that you attach to your lapel, and it goes straight to your phone. That'll cost you, a good one on Amazon.com will cost you about $60. Or you can get what they call a shotgun microphone, which is a little thing like that, which plugs into the back of your phone, and it points in the same direction that the camera is pointing in, and it excludes all the external noise and focuses on what is being said. And you'll find that those little investments of $50, $60, $70 can make your videos absolutely professional, as opposed to sounding really amateurish and homemade. The other thing to invest in, of course, is lighting. In a studio like here, we've got really good lighting that's been put in place by real professionals. But at home, or in your studio, or in your office, or in your factory, make sure that you've got good light. It doesn't have to be spectacular light, it just needs to be good light. And wherever possible, make sure it is indirect rather than direct, because you don't want shadows going all over the place. And once again, you can get a thing called a ring light, which is a circular light that casts a really, really soft light. And a good light like that will cost you maybe $200 on Amazon.com, but you can get much, much less expensive ones as well. I would urge you to get out there and practice. Whether you want to become the next YouTube superstar, make a ton of money and go and live in Los Angeles, or whatever it is that you want to do, or whether you want to promote your business to your local potential customer market, video is the thing that you've got to get right. If you get nothing else right from the point of view of your own marketing skill set, then video is the one thing that is worth putting your time into. It's not going to take a lot of money. It's just going to take a little bit of experience to get up that learning curve. And you'll find that the impact of what you produce, coupled with the amazing reach and power that YouTube gives you, can actually really, really amp up the awareness of your business and the desire that people feel to actually do business with you. So that's it for this week. Stay in touch. You know where we are on the web. Pass on any comments or questions that you have, and we'll try and address them in future episodes. But for now, this is Growth Hackers, and I'm Godfrey Parkin.